I said in the last video that capitalism is at the heart of the problem when it comes to our food supply. And lest you think I hate capitalism, which I don't, let me explain further. Let's get back to my marinara sauce example from the previous video. It's now mass-produced, shelf-stable, and okay tasting. Sure, it's got extra salt and sugar, but it's still one of the healthier brands on the shelves. The only problem is, nobody's buying it. Every other brand of pasta sauce at the supermarket has way more sugar and way more fat, which means they all taste better. To get people to switch to my sauce, I'm going to have to add even more sweeteners, sugars, and more flavor enhancers, more salt. One of the most tragic sequences in Moss's book is the story of the Kraft Company in the early 2000s. The company, reeling with power from its huge market share in cereal thanks to Raisin Bran, cookies thanks to Oreos, and packaged pasta thanks to their mac and cheese, started taking health and nutrition much more seriously. They added extra labels alongside the minuscule USDA mandated serving sizes that listed nutrition facts for the whole package. And they stealthily reduced the salt, sugar, and fat in their most popular products. They even cut the calories in Oreos and started selling them in 100-calorie packs. And then it happened. Hershey's invaded. Starting in 2003, the chocolate company launched a line of s'mores cookies that were fatter and sweeter than the Kraft's newly trimmed down Oreos. Kraft started to lose market share. It had no choice but to retaliate. That's how we ended up getting banana split cream Oreos, Dairy Queen Blizzard cream Oreos, watermelon and blueberry Oreos. They tasted better than normal Oreos. Of course, they had way more sugar and fat. Not coincidentally, they sold better. And I don't even know if Hershey's even sells cookies anymore. But the story of Kraft is one of the reasons I find David H. Friedman's How Junk Food Can End Obesity article so unconvincing. All of the major food companies, from Pepsi and General Mills right down the line to Monsanto, are all publicly traded companies. They're big, they're multinational, they're corporations. This means the only thing that matters to them is profits. Now, this isn't a disapproving description or a moral judgment. It's just a factual description of any corporate form. I mean, it's fine. It's how it's supposed to be. Corporations are responsible to their shareholders to earn a profit. And in a choice between earning more profit and protecting public health, profit will win. In a choice between earning more profit and just about anything, profit will win. Again, not a judgment, just a corporate description. Freeman profiles a Carl's Jr. charbroiled Atlantic cod fish sandwich in his book, It's Not Fried, It's Not Sugared, It's Not Terrible for You, It's a Good Sandwich, it's sharing menu space with fries and sodas. With the right marketing and the right "would you like to try" push from employees, America might just start eating it, and Freeman argues just might get a little slimmer, a little healthier because of it. Well, that's a nice scenario, and it might even happen. Yay if it does. But Freeman doesn't walk us through the other scenario, the one where Wendy's or Burger King launches a similar fish burger, except theirs is deep fried, heavily salted, much more sugared, and it probably has triple the tartar sauce. Because of all of those modifications, it's going to taste better, it's going to sell better. What can Carl's Jr. do except retaliate in kind? Several years ago, The New Yorker ran a feature detailing how Pepsi and its subsidiary Frito-Lay were launching a We're Healthy Now makeover. Less sugar and salt, more vitamins, more whole grains. They even hired a guy from the World Health Organization to implement his own science-backed health standards right through the soda and potato chip family. And then, like Kraft before it, Pepsi buckled. The minute U.S. sales fell to third place after Coke and horror, Diet Coke, Pepsi launched an all-hands-on-deck marketing campaign to go back to selling its old sugar water staple. 2 years after the healthy makeover, Pepsi's CEO told shareholders, "We refocused our efforts on our key global brands and categories in our most important developed markets to drive profitable growth." This is just annual report speak for "we marketed the hell out of our unhealthiest products." Pepsi traded in the guy from the WHO for Beyonce. And you know what? Their sales and stock soared. And that's just how it goes. Processed food companies are like drug addicts, promising next time it'll be different, just watch, when they're euphoric on market share and rising stock prices. But as soon as they crash back down, they're right back to their old habits: cheap sugar, loud marketing, and bogus health claims. This is why Moss's book, and in a different way, Freeman's article, are so depressing. Companies aren't evil. They're not greedy. Well, maybe. But they're not pernicious. They're just companies. As Moss points out, they're just as addicted to the crappy food they produce as we are. And Freeman's right that just because a food is processed doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for you. And just because something is organic or local or homemade or natural doesn't mean it's good for you. There's arsenic in apple seeds. They're natural, but you don't want to eat a lot of them. But I can't help but notice that a Starbucks muffin has 500 calories, and that the one I make at home has only 140. That ragu, the #1 pasta sauce in America, has almost 9 teaspoons of sugar, more than a day's recommended allowance of salt, and as much fat as a milkshake in each and every jar. Now, Freeman would probably point out that my marinara sauce is not particularly healthy. Wine and bacon, after all, are just foodie forms of salt, sugar, and fat. And serving for serving, it's got to be more expensive to have my marinara over a $2 jar of ragu. So who could afford to buy my healthier marinara? And he might be right. For now, none of us can escape the reality that food, like everything else we buy, is designed to be cheap to make, to last as long as possible, and to taste better than the next product down the shelf. We need to wake up, America. This is our food we're talking about. It's our health, and it's the future of mankind.